click the button, but as always, I have to wait to see if these things work because sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes I'll be out here just rambling to myself, hoping that things work. But it looks like we are now live. So hello and welcome to everyone who's watching the Written Melanin channel, wherever this day may have found you. I'm so glad that you are here. My name is Chelsea, better known as CM Lockhart, and I'm here with the one, the only, the amazing, the talented, the beautifully gifted Tatiana OB. And we are here to bring some melanin to your day. And this is a very special day because not only is it Tuesday, is it the first Tuesday of the month where we come and we talk to you on the internet, it is Black History Month. Black History Month. Black History Month. Woo! Okay. So, good morning. I hope you guys have made it. Shout out to everyone who's already in the chat. We see y'all. We see y'all, and we appreciate you for being here. Also, shout out to Ben for making sure that the chat is working when we start at the beginning. Look at that showing up on screen the way it's supposed to. What? Anyway. Shout out to Kagehime, who was the first one in the chat. Hello, welcome. It's J Monet is here. Welcome. Also, if you guys need editing, check her out. Also, check out her channel. She's amazing. Ben is here. Good morning. La is here. Good morning. Okay, Darian is here. Tanise is here. Adam Wayne is here. Hello, this is the first time I've seen you in the chat. I'm glad that you can make it and hang out with us this beautiful morning. When I say beautiful, it's still snowy, so I hope it is warm where you guys are at, but we still got like snow and ice outside, but like, welcome.
My morning is pretty.
I'm glad, because considering the drive we are about to be on, I don't want to leave ice to show up in ice. That's not going to be fun.
It was a nice 65 degrees yesterday.
Hey, I love that. I love that. Also, Andy is here. Good morning. JK is here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And as JK said, support Black authors all year, every year. This is our personality. This is who we are. I couldn't not support a Black author if I wanted to. Like, it's just not in me. I'm not built that way. So I'm so glad that we are here. I'm so glad that we are here. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful Black History Month. Okay. So, but this is your public service announcement that you should be reading Black authors all year round. And if you're on this channel, you should definitely be reading Black authors all year round, because I don't know why you're here if you don't read Black authors, because that's literally all we talk about. But I'm glad that you made it. I'm so glad that you made it. And also a reminder that over here we don't do like the social media rituals, because we do this 100% of the time. So it's just regular content, just saying. That being what it is, giving everybody a chance to get in here, get situated, get comfy. Gonna remind you guys to check out our mugs, Black Like My Books. This feels very appropriate for Black History Month. It's linked down in the description. So get it. And it's dishwasher safe, you guys. Sorry, I feel like as an adult, that's a very really? Let me go ahead and get one of them. Anyway.
No, we still hand wash over here.
I can't say anything. Shout out to Ben for being a wonderful husband, because when I tell you, when I was 17, the first thing I asked this man when we started talking about seriously dating, before he was even my boyfriend, he was just bitten from this biology class that I was talking to. The first thing I asked this man was, do you wash dishes? Because I don't do that. And when he said yes, I was like, okay, we're going to be locked in. We're going to be locked in. 14 years later. Also, Which Hobbyist is here. Hello, welcome. Go subscribe to them, you guys. I don't know if you guys are signed up for my newsletter or whatever, but you should be, because we did a thing. I did a thing. Tatiana did a thing, and we did a thing with Which Hobbyist. Which hobby is it? Not Which Hobbyist. Which hobby is it? So, yeah, there we go. Okay. I was supposed to tell y'all something. I can't remember. I'm hype. I don't know why. It's just sleep deprivation kicking in. That's what it is. Anyhow, let's get into this melanin spotlight so we can start talking about the topic for today, which is, if you guys don't know, balancing writing projects and promoting Black authors. So if you have questions for us, now would be the time to drop it in the chat so we remember to talk about it. So that being said, while y'all are dropping your questions in the chat, we are going to get into this melanin spotlight. If I can remember which one of these it is. I think it's this one. Hold on. Nope. Hold on. Here we go. The book for the Melanin Spotlight is this one. Look at me being like Audra. Channeling my inner Audra with a physical book. The Curse of Hester Gardens by Tamika Thompson. This is a horror, actually. I have been getting into my adult bag recently, getting further away from YA. Love that for me. But this is an adult horror, and if honestly, the writing style is doing what it needs to do. I'm only like a chapter into it, so don't ask me what it's about yet. I've only read the prologue. However, the plot twist at the beginning of the prologue, after like 4 pages, I was like, oh, I've already got notes in this thing. It comes out on March 31st, I want to say. Let me not lie to y'all. Yes! Look at me remembering dates. Comes out on March 31st. And the description for the book reads, we need to talk about Kevin as if written by Jason Reynolds and Tananarive Due meets Model Home by River Solomon in an innovative twist on the Haunted House novel about a mother desperate to protect her sons from the twin specters of gun violence and otherworldly menace in their public housing project. Nona McKinley raised 3 boys in the Hester Garden section of Medford, Michigan, an impoverished community divided by those who follow their faith in God and those who turn to crime to survive. With her drug dealer husband behind bars and her eldest son shot to death at 18, Nona has devoted herself to ensuring her other children escape their brother's fate. Her second son, Marcus, is on the right path. He's a valedictorian heading to an Ivy League school. He can get out. But then strange things start happening to Nona and other residents. Mysterious footsteps are heard when she's alone. People have phantom encounters in the streets. Unattended appliances go off at all hours. Even more concerning is the state of Nona's living sons. Her youngest, Lance, is hanging around with a bad crowd, and Marcus becomes moody and secretive. Sometimes he even seems to act like a different person entirely. Nona has her secrets too. Her affair with the married church pastor has been weighing on her conscience, but that's not the only guilt haunting her. She fears that someone, or something, is seeking revenge for an act she made in a moment of weakness to protect her family. And now everyone in Hester Gardens must pay the price. So, sounds good. Sounds interesting. This is a debut. So y'all know how they do Black Authors and Trap Hub, especially with debuts. So go ahead, pre-order the thing. We got like 30 days and it's Black History Month. So support an author, buy a Black author during Black History Month. Okay. Glad we got through that. Also, if you guys are in the chat, which slight plug, if you haven't already, go ahead and click the little join button down there next to the subscribe button. Click that too if you haven't already. And I will be sharing my thoughts as I read this in the chat. So I will let y'all know for sure what I think unfiltered. But you got to be in the Discord. $5 gets you in. $10 gets you to the DNF Book Club, which is also hosted by Tatiana and La. So, good stuff all the way around. That being said, let's actually get into this discussion. The book sounds scandalous. Honestly, when you said scandalous, the first thing that popped into my house was the Ashleys from Recess. Ooh, scandalous. Anyway. I don't know where my brain is at today, you guys. I'm so sorry. But in all seriousness, I'm going to give Tatiana a chance to talk. Hi, Tatiana. How are you?
I'm good. I'm over here, like, as you're reading the blurb, I'm like, ooh, I have a story idea. Over here.
She's like, ooh, you know what we could do? You know what would be fun?
I was like, you know what would be funny if we had, like, a comedic Black haunting house. Like, we can't afford to move, so we yelling at these ghosts like, girl, get your shit together.
I need a ghost who pays rent. Like, if you're gonna be haunting stuff, you're gonna be turning these lights on in the middle of the night, I'm gonna need you to pay a bill, actually.
I need a horror comedy.
I feel like we need, what is the movie, what is it, Scary Movie, I think, that was like, yeah. We need a book version of that.
That would be so fun.
Okay, Tatiana's...
my volume is low? Okay, thanks for letting me know.
Okay, I just turned her up on my end. Let me know if that helps.
Yes. Am I? Can you hear me now?
Also, Max is here. Hello, Max. Welcome. But that, like I said, if you guys have questions, we are talking about balancing your writing projects with promoting yourself, especially as a Black author during Black History Month, and just promoting in general. So, that being said, let's actually get into this discussion. If y'all have questions, drop them. Just put like Q or question so I see it. And yeah, so yeah, let's start at the beginning.
I know I'm still very quiet. Am I still
Okay, so this is like as loud as I can raise her on my
okay?
end. Let me know
Huh.
if that helps.
It's a little. I'm not sure that's helping. I think that's just raising my own volume.
Is it raising the volume in your ears?
Yeah, it's raising the volume. No, what I'm doing. I'm
Oh,
not helping.
because I raised it on my end so that
Okay, okay.
your
JK says
bar.
it's good. All
Oh,
right,
okay,
much better.
cool,
Okay,
cool,
awesome.
cool, cool. Thank y'all for letting me know. Um, so yeah, uh, duh, 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 duh. Let's see here. I'm trying to read more horror. Let me put it on my TBR. Please do, please do. Um, so yeah, questions first that we got. Thoughts first, questions next. There we go. Look at me getting it. Um, so balancing writing projects, right? That's one of the topics that I feel like a lot that comes up a lot, especially in like the first quarter of the year, where everybody's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this project and that project, and I'm gonna get this done. This is gonna be my most productive year yet." And then you get to the end of the year, and you're like, "What happened? What happened?" So Tatiana, you're like the queen of having so many projects lined up. You're like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this, and you stay on schedule, and I appreciate it. I respect you for it. You're very motivating. I don't know if you know this, but you're very motivating. And so, let's just start with that. Like, how do you balance between okay, deciding which project that you want to work on, especially when you have multiple, but also you promote yourself like regularly because you have project, you be dropping projects left and right, bruh, left and right, right and left. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I feel like I'm struggling with it this year. Um, because there's two projects that I'm working on, but they are scheduled to be kind of finished and completed around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to pull back and be like, as an author, it doesn't really make sense to be marketing two projects at the same time because
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit harder and you're splitting people's focus. So I'm like, well, I need to choose one project and which project would be the best. So I've actually have been talking with people and brainstorming like, okay, what project would you be most interested in? So, that helps too, like a survey of like, hey, what do you want? Like, which one of these sound most interesting? Um, so I actually did talk to some people yesterday, and I know which one they want.
Is it the one that I want?
No.
It's not. How dare? How dare? I'm actually offended right now.
Yeah, so sometimes it is hard when you have multiple projects, and so I guess what they do, like, go talk to people, be like, hey, what makes sense, what's more interesting,
Mhm.
um, yeah, what's more anticipated.
True, and I think it's also sometimes the passion too, like the thing that that fuels you, especially in I'll say in these times, this timeline that we are currently living in, right? It is very easy because I know that the prevalent idea, right, especially within the Black writer communities, that like, hey, it's hard out here, but as writers, as creators, this is the time that we go to work. This is the time that we do the thing. But that can also be very hard because we also live in this timeline. We are not excluded
Yeah,
from it. So it's like if there is something that is sparking you, that is fueling you, that makes you want to sit down and do the thing, also that sometimes is the right choice, even if it's
yeah.
not, even if it is counterculture. And I'm saying this because I'm subliminally trying to talk Tatiana into giving me the project that I want.
I mean, I feel like, and there are definitely some authors who can, but I'm definitely not a multitasker in any ways, especially when it comes to writing fantasy, because there's so many like world building
Yeah.
things. I don't want to like cross those
Not
lines. So like in regards to like fantasy novels, right? Like I like to work on one and then work on the other while the world is still fresh in my head. It's very hard for me to multitask with those projects. So it's like, okay, that's gonna be done, and then
no, that's real.
some
Because
people can do it.
especially when the voices of the characters are so different, especially if you're writing one in like first person, another one in third person, or if God forbid you're writing both of them in first person like me. And then it's just like, wait, these characters sound totally different. It's almost impossible to just like flip flop and jump between them. Even though, like you said, some people do it, and I'm just like, Houseway, teach me your ways. I would like to also be as productive as possible.
Yeah. And then there are a lot of unforeseen things that you can't anticipate, right? I was recently invited to an anthology, and it means I got to write a short story for it. So it's like, well, when in my schedule do I need to sit down and write this? So sometimes you're like, well, got to move things around
Yeah.
for those opportunities that come up, you know?
Yeah. And then also, I think turning down opportunities that you know that aren't for you, that aren't going to serve you. Because sometimes as you build your platform, you do get invited to things and you're just like, realistically, homie, like this sounds good, this sounds great, but I'm gonna have to say nah on this one. Like ask me again, but I'm gonna have to say no this time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like last year, I was invited to an anthology around the time that Return of the Samurai dropped, and I was like, no, I just, like, there's no time. I don't have it.
The time doesn't exist, and that's
Yeah.
real. So, um, I guess that comes up to the question: do you have like any like straightforward, actionable like this is the tip number one, tip number two, tip number three for how to like kind of balance things?
No, I feel like we're all kind of,
She said,
and you
"Good
know,
luck."
because the answer for everyone is going to be different, right? Everyone has different writing processes, and it's going to be different for everyone. Um, but I think one of the tips is turn down the noise. Like, like turn off social media, turn off that, like put your energy into writing if
Yeah,
that's your intention is to write. Sometimes you have to turn down the noise in order for you to focus and get things done.
that's valid. That's valid. I think if I had to give a tip, it would be um, give yourself grace if your schedule doesn't look like what other people's schedules look like, because some people can sit down and they could do the thing and like pressure makes them perform better, right? But sometimes on the flip side of that if that's not your life, it's okay if that's not your life. Like it's okay to
Yeah,
be like, you know what, the most I got in me today is 200 words. That's cool. you know Give yourself
yeah. And
grace and show up
you
how you
really
can.
can't compare yourself to other authors, right? Because like when they're like hitting their writing count and like posting their writing count and things like that, you also don't know, right? Like people got children, people got jobs, people got, you don't know what environment
Clinical
people's working
depression.
with. Yeah, exactly. So you don't know what people are working with. So you can really just kind of evaluate yourself and your environment and what you can do.
Yeah. And then I also think to remember, especially online, this is something that I personally try to dispel because if you follow me on Threads, I posted yesterday how I got rid of over like 5,000 words in my story. But the thing is, a lot of people don't post that part. They don't post the part where it's like this did not go how I wanted it to go. It's a lot more fun to be like, hey, I had a word count goal of like 3,000 words and I hit that today. So people can be like, yay, you did the thing. I'm so proud of you. Woo! Right? But no one wants to post yeah, I wanted to write today, but I sat down on my computer and I stared at a blank page for like 2 hours and then I scrolled Instagram and then I went to sleep. Nobody wants to post that. But that
Yeah,
is a real part of the process sometimes. And that's also okay.
yeah. Or, like sometimes it's easy to post updates about the first draft, but once you're in like the fifth, sixth, seventh draft, it's like I
Once
already
you're
talked about this. I've been working on this forever. I don't know what else to say about it.
literally that part, because when we talk about promotion too, especially as Black authors, especially during Black History Month, the general consensus is if you Black, post your book during this month and tell people to go get it, because you, generally speaking, are going to see a spike. You're going to see an influx of readers, of buyers, of purchasers, right? But there's also the reality that there is a point with marketing your books that you're like, I have been talking about this for so long, you guys. I don't know what else you want me to tell you, right? Like, the posts have been done. And I think there's one, that adage of some people are just coming across you for the first time. So you have to remember that, right? But also, it's like sometimes people have to hear things multiple times for it to
Yeah.
stick, you
And
know?
I do think it would behoove every author to have like a good introductory post that you post every Black History Month because there is that increase in visibility. Will be people that have not seen you or have not met you and just like, this is what I write. These are my books. This is what they're about.
Yeah. And while we're talking about being on social media, I think the other thing too, and this is going to sound so cringe because I know a lot of us are probably introverts, be annoying on the internet. Every time you see somebody being like, I'm looking for Black authors, I'm looking for fantasy, I'm looking for romance, I'm looking for whatever. If it fits you, if you fit the bill, drop your stuff. Be like, hey, this is me. This is what I write. Here's the link. Go get it. Here's a cute little graphic to go with it. And it could be the exact same thing multiple times because you're posting on different threads for one. But also the algorithm is going to start showing you more stuff and it'll make it easier for you to promote because when I tell you there's a certain someone that I know who literally just has like the title of the book and it's a shortcut. And when they type it, a whole paragraph, their smart text knows to replace it with this whole paragraph of just marketing, and they drop a picture and then keep it moving. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Sometimes you have to talk to 100 people to get 10 people to like buy your book.
Or even like just save your log line or your tagline of your book in your notes app. So it's just in the link and just copy paste, put it in there and just just go.
Literally, I have a tab on my phone, like, because you know you have different tabs when you open your web browser or whatever on your phone. I just have a whole group that's just for the links that I copy and paste all the time. It goes to like the Melanin Library. It goes to the community. It goes to the services on my Written to Melanin. So hey, if you want to book a consultation with me, I'm really good at helping authors get to their author goals. Okay, yeah, fun. Slight plug. Oh, and if you're part of the community, you get a discount. So no reason not to sign up. No reason not to sign up. Anyhow. Yeah. Do make it easy for yourself. Make it easy for yourself. But that being said, we do have a couple questions in the chat. First one is from JK. And she said, I'd love to know how you promote your books if you don't have social media / your own author website. This is the question that everybody wants to know. I know that Tatiana and I are going to have a actual in-person marketing session when I see her. I'm going to see her in like a couple of days, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm so like psyched about that. But I feel like this is the question of the year, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
And sometimes the easy answer isn't always, oh yeah, I'll go out and do in-person events and like go to your bookstores and things like that. Because on the flip side, sometimes bookstores don't take you seriously if they don't look you up and you don't have like a website or social media and they can see how many followers you are. Sometimes these in-person events, especially the real in demand ones, they look at your social media account to see how many people you can bring to the event. So it's even like in-person things are sometimes interwoven with it. So it's very difficult.
It's very symbiotic. And I will say, speaking as someone who has recently talked to several bookstore owners, I can tell you for a fact that one of the things that they consider when being like, hey, you could do an event here, even if you're a local author, is how many people are you going to bring to the event? Like, and not in the sense of like, how are you going to post about it? But like, if you're not online, right? Are you going to send it out in a newsletter blast that are going to get people to know? But the thing is, it has to be a very like collaborative relationship. If they're hosting you, you can't just assume as the author that you are just tapping into their audience. They're expecting you to bring an audience to their store so that they are also benefiting from that relationship. And I think sometimes when we have these conversations online about in-person events, about getting into bookstores, about how to present yourself, so on and so forth, sometimes it can be presented with this light of, oh, I don't want to do social media, therefore this is the alternative. But the thing is, like Tatiana was saying, it kind of goes both ways, right? You kind of have to show up, but you also have to be providing something for the bookstore. Because the thing is, I don't know if y'all know this, bookstores don't necessarily make a lot of money. Books are not a high margin business. And when you have a brick and mortar that's selling something that's not a high margin business, it's a struggle. That's why a lot of indie bookstores are like, we need you guys to show up. We need you to support independent bookstores. We need you to come to these events. And that's why a lot of, I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it was when Oathbound or Bloodmarked came out. People were like, why isn't there a midnight release for this? And there was a Black indie bookstore that was like, hey, we'll set this up, but you guys have to like show up for this, because we have to we have to open the store, we have to pay the staff, we have to get the snacks, we got to get the decorations, we have to buy the books. Like, we have to set up an event. And they did it. They planned to do it, but people didn't do what they were supposed to do. So they had to be like, nah, we can't do it. Like, straight up, it's not viable. And I know people got upset because they were like, well, why wouldn't you do it? There are some people who are going to do it, and da 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 da. And it's just like, I think sometimes we facilitate this culture of like lurking online, where it's just like, I'll go if I can, but somebody else is going to do it for sure, even if I don't. But when it comes to like marketing your books offline, in person, you kind of have to assume that no one else is going to do it. So you have to be very intentional about it. It's a different level of work, if that makes sense. That was kind of a rant, but hopefully it made sense. Hopefully it made sense.
Yeah. I think in summary, it's very difficult to promote without social media and author website, because even if you try to do a lot of in-person things, it's still kind of predicated on a lot of that as well. Now there's definitely, you know, never be afraid of talking to your book, right? Like, you meet new people, like, never be like, I'm an author, like share what your book is about. Talk to people, that let them know you've written a book. But it's hard. I don't know if you have any other like tips or things.
I would say don't assume that offline marketing is going to be any easier than social media marketing, because that's usually not how it works. It usually is the same amount of effort, just poured into a different medium, right? So it's like social media, you have to make a graphic. In real life, you still have to make a graphic. You got to make a flyer. The only difference is, instead of fighting against the algorithm, you're fighting for space in real life locations, right? And you're still appealing to strangers. You're just appealing to strangers offline versus online. And you have to facilitate a different set of skills. So like for me, I could talk all day. Y'all know I'm a chatterbox. I will sit here and I will talk y'all ear off for like 6 hours straight and just be like, oh, are we done? Man, that went by fast. So I know I can do that. So making a video, I would say TikTok, but we ain't over there no more. Right. But making a video or talking to people in person is not as like mentally daunting as being like, oh my God, I have to make a graphic. When I tell y'all, I know that Tatiana and La have to be sick of me when I make graphics. So I'd be like, what does this look? How does this look? Is this okay? And they'd be like, well, Chelsea, fix it. Jesus, fix it. And I'm just like, I hate it here. I hate it here. Meanwhile,
No,
Tatiana is so good with graphics.
No, like...
She was like, correct that immediately, Chelsea.
Because like sometimes I'm such a perfectionist about things. It's hard for me to like throw things out there. Like my Black History Month post, it took me 5 hours to do. Now, to be fair, I was watching Bridgerton at the same time. But
she was like, I was not focused. However, that doesn't change the fact.
It took me all day. Like it takes time.
And I think that's the thing. Like, whether you're making a graphic for social media or you're making a flyer to hand out, it's going to take time, even if you're going to the post office. Because, fun fact, you can go to the post office and be like, especially if you have an LLC, and you can set up a meeting with them and they'll send out those postcards that you get in the mail that are like solicitations. You can set that up as an author, right? However, that still requires you making the graphic and going up there and talking to someone, right? So there's still labor involved. It just depends on like what you feel most comfortable with. And then it's also trial and error, because I think I told you guys this, but like I spend most of my time in like Virginia. Like, I'm not from Virginia. I don't live there. I ain't never lived there. I'm not from there. My people's not from there. My brother currently lives there, but like, that's it. That's it. And I be up there all the time. Every time I'm like, hey, I'm doing an event. I'm like, oh, I'm going to Virginia. I'm going to Virginia to do an event. So it's just kind of like, you also kind of have to find the space in the community that works for you. Like, I'm doing an event. The first event that I'm doing this year, you guys, is in freaking Texas. I don't live in Texas no more. That's like 18 hours away.
No, it was great, because she was like, oh, I'll be here this week. I'm like, oh, I'm doing an event. Come with me. Come to my local library. Let's go.
They said it about a word, man. So all that to say that like in offline is fun, but keep in mind that it's labor. So shout out to Ben for being the best chauffeur in the world, who's just like, if we can drive there, we can get there. So letting you guys know, Tatiana mentioned it earlier. She and I are going to be together at the Dallas Public Library on February 7th, which is this Saturday, for Black History Month. This is the first event that we're going to be together at in person. I'm going to have books. She's going to have books. We're going to have stickers, and we're going to be together in real life. It's going to be great. It's going to be a time is going to be had. So if you can make it, show up.
Yeah, it's a family event. Bring the kiddos. There'll be performances, face painting, a lot of different things.
Ooh, there's face painting. Can I get my face painted?
Yeah, Lisa, yeah.
I love how Tatiana was like, I don't know, Chelsea. Like, it's fine. It's fine. So yeah. Okay, our next question is from Mags, and she asked, when should you start promoting your book? After you get a beta read ready manuscript, once you have decided to do trad versus indie publishing, after you have a rough draft, or something else? Ooh, can I go first on this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm problematic. I say as soon as you have an idea and you start writing, you start telling people about that. Like immediately. Like, hi, I'm writing a book. Okay? Like, I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds daunting, but when I tell you, people will not cheer you on more than if you tell them that you are doing something for the first time. They would be like, what? Tell me about your book. What is it about? Like, when I tell you they will rally behind you, that is the time. And then also, this is a phenomenon, especially on the internet, that I think all of us see, and you can see it a lot with debuts. People love a new and shiny thing. They love to anticipate something. They love to anticipate something more than they love to have something, actually. So immediately, you decide to write a book, you start telling people about it. You decide to write something, you tell people about it. You have a blog post, you tell people about it. Tell people about it immediately. Like, do not wait. Do not wait. And the reason I say that too is because if you wait until you have a beta read ready manuscript, right? That means you've been working on this for, let's say, 6 months, and no one has known about it. That is 6 months that you've been writing, 6 months that you have had that you've been excited about it, 6 months that you've been wanting to talk about it, 6 months that you could have been grabbing screenshots of cool lines, 6 months of, oh, I got to write this scene, 6 months of, hey, how do you guys feel about this dynamic, 6 months of just genuine, authentic interaction that once you're done with it, you're moving on to promoting. And your brain shifts from drafting, and it's a lot easier to promote when you're drafting and you're in it and everything is fresh than it is when you're trying to intentionally get people to lock in to what it is that you're promoting. So yeah, that's my rant. Tatiana, it's your turn.
So yes, everything that Chelsea says is the overall general advice in regards to promoting your book. Promote it as soon as you can. I am bad at that advice. Just in regards to, like, I guess kind of knowing like who you are as a person and what works for you. Because like I've mentioned before, like I'm a perfectionist. Like Chelsea, I don't share lines or anything, like even in the the author group chat of any of the books I'm working on until it's more finished, more polished. I get so much anxiety sharing work that's not complete or that I'm not happy with or that I don't think is perfect. So because of that, even on social media, I tend to like not share a lot of things. People know I'm working on a project, but that's about it. And again, that goes against the general wisdom of, like getting people engaged and getting people involved in the book. But that's just, I can't do it any other way. So because of that, I do try to be more intentional. So for example, I've been sitting on a book cover for almost a year and a half now. I've not released this book cover. I've not done a cover reveal for this project. And the reason for that is because with more experience, that when that book cover drops, that is the most visibility you will have on a project ever. that is when your project will reach the most masses. And so
Okay.
at that time, you want to, yes, Chelsea.
I'm going to interrupt real quick with some
Huh?
real sound author advice. Do not drop your cover reveal until you're ready to set up a pre order. Set up your pre order and a
That's what I was
cover
getting
reveal
to.
at the same time.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was getting to. Yeah, like because that's the most critical mass, you'll get views on it. You want to be ready with the pre-order link. You want to be ready for a release date. You want to be ready for those concrete things, that action items that people can do. So because of that, because I know how I am, I try to take most advantage of those big critical moments. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I was leading.
Okay. It's one of those things where when I tell you, I have seen so many people go like that first cover post goes viral and there's not a link. And then the comments are all, where can I pre-order? Where can I pre-order? Where can I pre-order? Where can I pre-order? And guess what? If you had just posted it with a link, all those people asking, where can I pre-order? Those would most likely be people who would have just pre-ordered it. Because I think the other thing really important that's not said enough is that buying books and reading books are not the same hobby. And there are absolutely people who just love to buy a book. They love to click a pre-order link. They like to be like, yeah, I was day one. I got it day one. I got it as soon as it came out. They don't care if that book does not come for another 8 months. They got it. And it's gonna come when it comes. That's just it. Right? So even if you can't set it up on Amazon because you don't have like an exact release date, you can set a pre-order up on your website, which I recommend doing anyway because you also get their email address. So if something does happen and something goes awry, and spoiler alert, as an indie author, something will go awry. I don't know what it is, but something will go awry. And you're going to be like, stress. It's a part of the process. If it does, you have those emails, you can email those people. And then also on your website, at least I do this on my website, I'd be like, no refunds. So once it's pre-ordered, it's yours. It's coming to you. And it's a lot less stressful that way. But anyway, I get really intense about pre-orders and cover reveals because people don't be lining it up. And I'm like, why did you do this to yourself? Why did you do this to yourself?
Yeah.
Be
I mean,
successful.
you learn after you've had a lot of experience, and it's true. Like it very much is true that that book cover reveal is the most visibility you have in your book, and you need to have all your ducks in a row. So
Yeah.
because of that, like if you're at a certain point, if you don't know when this book is being published, if you don't have pre-order links ready, because Amazon, if you're doing a pre-order through Amazon, um, 'cause, like not a lot of beginning indie authors have a site with a store, even though I do suggest that if you do want this to be a career and
Yeah.
you are taking it seriously. But I think for Amazon, they've changed it where you can see a sample of it. Because at first you could put a blank page up on there, but I think now Amazon's allowing you to see the sample of the blank page, so a lot of people can't do that
I
anymore.
mean, it also depends, right? Because I think there's something that you can click that allows look inside when you're setting up your book. So if you can have like a placeholder file that
Yeah,
has the first chapter or so, and you can put it up, then go for it. But um, yeah, definitely put the pre-order up when you do a cover reveal. I don't know how we got there, but like that is the if you take nothing else from this Melanin chat, set it up. And also, I want to say that like I know we talked about earlier not having your own website. I really highly recommend getting your own website because the thing is your website does not have to be all the bells and whistles that everything else has, right? You can literally just have your name.com and then just be like it has your picture, your bio, and these are the books that I wrote. That's it. It's a one pager. It does not have to be a lot, but it does add a level of credibility and it does add a level of control. So when you are ready to be like, hey, here's a link to the book, even if that link just points to Amazon and nowhere else, if you want to open your own store, you can. And there are a lot of free ways to sell your book yourself that will create an author website for you. I used PayHip for the longest, and they create a landing page and a website for you, and you can sell your books directly. It
yeah,
makes it super easy.
yeah.
Just don't be intimidated by that. If you're like, oh, I don't know how to set up a Squarespace website or a WordPress website, or I'm not tech savvy. So literally, there are places that be like, what color do you want? Give me a book cover. I got you. That's it.
Oh, and some like start talking about your book. But if you're like me who have difficulty sharing the process, take as much advantage of those big moments as possible.
Yeah. And then I will also add that if you are like me, because here's the thing, I love chaos. The way I will post a snippet and delete it later. And if you're part of my newsletter, I will absolutely be like, hey, here's a sneak peek at what I'm writing right now. And it's usually something, sometimes it's from the graveyard, you guys. Sometimes it is just something that I know I'm not going to keep. It's just like, I wrote this and it gives you vibes. But what I will do is I will send it to Law first. And Law will be like, you know, you misspelled this word right. I'm like, damn, you're right. That is messed up. Let me fix that. And then I'll take a screenshot and drop it in the newsletter and be like, I'm working, right? But that's just me. But again, if you follow me, a lot of times I'm not posting snippets on the internet. That's for like the fam. That's for the community. That's for the people who really rock with me, who have bought a book before, right? But for the internet at large, I'll be like, oh, this is my word count. And that's it. I'm just working on a book. Here's the word count. Here's the log line. Here's the vibe. Right? That's it. That's it. So it's whatever you're comfortable with, but definitely tell people that you're working on a book, right? However you're comfortable with it. But I like chaos. I like to be like, here we are. This is what we're doing. Also, I don't think I said it earlier. Shout out to Jocelyn who came in, who's stream hopping and listening in. Welcome. Glad you can make a love. Read, love, listen. I don't know if I actually said hello to you specifically. So hello, welcome. I know you've been in the chat, but hello. And then also Devin just came in. Hello, welcome. Glad you can make it, friend. That being said, we got a couple more questions. Let's see here. JK dropped another one. How do you decide when to stop revisions for your book and just go ahead to the next step? For me, it is when you get to the point where you are making the book different and not better. Revisions are to improve the book, but when you get to a point where you've plateaued with the revisions, you're just changing sentences and they're different, but they're not making it better. It's not adding more description. It's not adding more context. It's not adding more clarity. It doesn't sound better. It doesn't flow better. It doesn't add more insight to the characters. It doesn't add insight to the dynamic. It doesn't add insight to the world. It literally doesn't do anything but change the paint color from like school bus yellow to sunshine yellow. It's time to move on. It's time to move on.
One of the benefits of having written as long as I have, you kind of know when something's finished. You're like, oh, okay, this is finished. It's time to share it and to give it to other people and to read it. But can I explain like exactly like when that is? You're like what is that finished feeling? Like what is that sense? It's like I don't know. You're like, ooh, it hits.
It hits, or also if you get to a point where you just don't know what you're doing anymore and you're tired of it. When you're tired of it, you don't know what you're doing anymore, and it feels more, if it starts feeling like a job to work on it, also probably a good time to stop revisions. Even if it's not a stop revisions and send it off, sometimes it's a stop revisions and work on something else. But you kind of know intuitively when you get to a point where it's just like there's nothing else that I can do here, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Like when you feel like after each draft there isn't a significant change or like a significant yeah, just change. It's time to let it go. It's time to give it to beta readers. It's time to publish it. It's time to let it go.
Yeah. Um Next question was from Read Love Listen, and she said, when should you commission an artist for a cover or for character art? Do you want to go first with this one?
Sure. You can do it anytime. I prefer to do it after the first draft because at that point, after the first draft, I can give the artist enough details for the cover for them to give it to me. And then a lot of the times, as I'm continuing on with multiple drafts, I'll like incorporate things from the cover into the into the book. But sometimes, like that always doesn't work because artists have their own timelines too, and they have their own schedules, and sometimes they're booked out months in advance. So there's really an artist you want to work with. I would go ahead and reach out to them,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of whether you're finished with the book or not, because you never know what their schedule is looking like.
Yeah. I second that. Of especially the part is if there's an artist that you really want to work with. I am going to speak from experience, right? I have done the thing where I've commissioned a cover before I wrote the book because I was like, I know I'm going to need it. I need to get on this artist schedule. I just need it. And truly, like, not being funny, I've had times where it was just like, you know what? Snaps. Love it. Fantastic. No notes. This is perfect. You did the thing. You understood the assignment, right? And then there were times I was just like, I just wasted $300. Love that for me. So it really just depends. And I think it also depends on, there are so many variables, right? It depends on how you are with describing things. It depends on the type of artist that you work with. It depends on like how much description they need. It depends on how much flexibility that you have, because sometimes, again, speaking from true genuine experience, right? Sometimes you work with an artist who is very like, I need you to tell me exactly what you want, what colors you want, what style you want. Like they want to give you what you have in your mind. So you have to be extremely detailed when you work with them. And if you have not written the book and you are going all vibes alone, that is usually very difficult, because I'm be honest with you, and I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. If you had that kind of visual prowess, you probably would be drawing things yourself and not hiring somebody else to do it. So if you are not an artist, and I'm not saying like artist enough to do your own covers, because there are people who draw who still outsource things, but if you are not an artist, if you cannot convey what's in your brain on paper to somebody else in a way that makes sense, you should probably wait until you've written the book so you can send them some descriptions and use your strength, which is words, to explain this to somebody else, right? But also on the flip side of that, I realized that, and I've talked about this before in the chat, especially with the author council, I realized that over time, because again, like Tatiana, I've been doing this for a little minute. I hired a couple people in my day. I'm the type of person where I actually need somebody who can take something and run with it. Like I need you to not need me to tell you what I need. I actually need you to tell me what I want. Actually, like this is the process. Simply because I don't know. And I've had cover artists where it's like I can give them the vibe and they will take the assignment and run with it. And they're like, okay, I'll talk to you in 3 weeks. And then come back with like, this is perfect. Thank you so much. And I've talked to other people that was just like, so what do you want from me? And I'm like, I don't know. What do I want from you? And they're like, I don't know. That you hired me. You tell me. And I'm like, we're in that Spider-Man meme where, not the Spider-Man, the what is it? The Diddy meme where we're just looking at each other like, okay, well, anyway.
Yeah. What we don't want to do is waste money. So
what we don't want to do is waste money. So getting off of my rant to the point. If you're asking me, I say wait until you're at least 50% of the way through the book. And you know very clearly what the characters are, what the voice is, where the book is going. 50% is at the earliest. If you like safest bet, what I really suggest is wait till the book is done. And then you know what it is. It's a lot easier to go back and add a scene into, or add a description into the book that's from the cover than it is to get a cover that no longer fits your vision. And then you're trying to shoehorn the cover into the book that no longer works. Character art, get that whenever you feel like it's character art. I mean, make yourself happy.
If you're publishing for the first time, I will suggest wait till the book is done and then commission the artist. And then things shift a little bit once you're published, because then you're kind of on deadlines and then you're on schedules. So sometimes having the commission or having the cover within your schedule is just better for the publishing the book in regards to the timeline of publishing the book. But while you have no timeline and you're on your first book, say it's fine to wait till the book is done.
Yeah. And also, we are speaking from people who are on budgets. If you have expendable income, I would say if you have expendable income, you can get character art. That's for yourself, right? Stay away from covers. Do not commission a cover until you're ready to start getting the ball rolling of getting the book out in the world, right?
Yeah.
But I also am the type of person where I'm encouraged bad decisions, because I also like to look at things and it motivates me. So I am the girly. I will pay somebody to draw something for me. I'm not gonna lie. I've spent a good amount of money. Like, y'all don't understand how much character art I have for Project Necromancer, and that book is not even out, and I don't even know if and or when it's going to come out. But do I have art for it? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
It's not me.
Tatiana's a lot more practical. Listen to her. She's the adultier adult. But yeah, I love how Ben's in here like, don't buy until after you finish the draft because things will change and you won't want to buy twice. Speaking as the person who has had to fund some of my habits, also listen to him. But yeah, I also want to point out that some of the comments are also really good. It's Jay Monet said you can easily use Tumblr to make a website for free. So also definitely an option. I have not used Tumblr in ages, but like use what is available to you, right? And also use what you know. Like I said, it doesn't have to be difficult. Willingness to draw stick figures. I'm dead. Andy said, I want to see Project Necromancer art. You know what? I may send out the art that I have. I may share it with the chat for you guys. Remind me in the after chat and I'll drop it so that you guys can see it.
And just
Which I better
as
be
a
excited when
caution,
I use it for real, for promotion. But go ahead, Tatiana.
as a caution, I have seen some authors commission character art, particularly for marketing to help market the book. But sometimes it does not work.
Oh, yeah, no.
Don't put all your eggs in that basket.
Oh, okay. So this is my hot take, and you may not agree with me. I don't actually like character art for marketing purposes. Um, personally, right? Because I like covers because covers usually have words and text and it's a whole package in order to let you kind of understand what a book is, and it kind of signifies that the book is done, like the book is ready, like it's going to be a finished product at some point. Character art is vibes, character art is tropes, character art is, this is gonna be so fun, you guys. I don't care who are these people, what are they doing, like I don't know, it just, that's me though, that's a very personal preference, because unless your characters are doing something extremely interesting, I don't really care. I don't like, stat sheets are not interesting until I have a cover. It's not interesting until I have a summary. It's not interesting until I can go see what the book is about, and then I can kind of see. Like if you're doing a sequel to a book, character art is beneficial. And as much as we like to have conversations about it, I think a really good example actually is Legendborn. Like, she was not dropping character art prior to the book coming out. The book itself came out, and then you started getting commissions of Bree and the other characters who are in it. I ain't read it. I ain't going to read it. I don't know. But I know there are two guys in it who are like love interests, right? So that came out after the fact, right? So I think keep that in mind as well, because we haven't even talked about like marketing sequels, but that's a whole other Jesus, that's a whole other ball game.
Yeah, like in many ways, let character art be for yourself because I have seen a recent trend of people commissioning character art for the marketing and it not working out sometimes.
Character art is not for marketing. Character art is for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like I like there are times I think it could be beneficial and be very helpful. For example, for authors who may not be very descriptive or like can't see very well in their head, right? Like sometimes having character art will help you with your descriptions of your own characters. Um,
Yeah. I'll add to that I am sometimes that person. Like I have like a vibe. One of the things that I always tell my artists, whoever I work with 100% of the time, especially if I'm at the point where things are still flexible, right? Like if I'm introducing a new character, or if it's like Project Necromancer where it's just like, this book hasn't come out, it's the first book and nobody has seen it yet and there's still flexibility in it. Sometimes I'll tell the artist like, this is what I'm expecting, these are the non-negotiables, and the first thing is always they have to be unambiguously black. I think I've said this before. At one point in my commissioning artist career, I got purple people. So after that, I was like, they need to be, yeah, they were purple, straight up. I was just, and not like, oh, they're real dark purple, like straight up pastel purple. And I was like, no, they need to be unambiguously black 100% of the time. Other than that, you can have fun with it. You can do what you want to do. You can, you can take some creative liberty, because if it's just a hairstyle, or if it's a jewelry piece, or if it's a outfit or whatever, that is something that's very easily worked into the rest of the book, right? Because now I can see it and I can make it part of the story. But what I can't change is they're gonna be black 100% of the time, every day of the week, 365 days a year. Like, that's what it's gonna be. Can't take creative liberties with that, So I would also say have your non-negotiables when you talk to artists, if you are going to get character art. Also, Jay Monet said a lot of authors care more about character art than they do writing craft, and that is a whole conversation. That's
true. Like, I don't know, like sometimes you know more what the character looks like from the art than the actual descriptions in the book.
Moving on. Ben said, also, you have to be realistic about if the art is for you or for profit. It's okay to do things as gifts or motivation for yourself, but don't fool yourself into thinking it's profitable when it's not. I 100% agree with this. There are definitely moments when it can turn into marketing, but I don't think you should view it that way. And I know Ben is kind of saying that for me, because I will 100% gaslight myself into believing like, oh, I'm paying for this and I'm going to use it. It's supposed to be marketing. It's going to bring in sales. It's not. It's for me. I know that. He knows that, but I would pretend like it is anyway. But don't be like me. Be a responsible adult. Okay. Also, shout out to Margaret, who popped in. You're late, but you're here, and that's what matters. She hit the like button. I hope if you're watching, you have hit the like button as well. So yeah. People are putting books out there for the vibe and aesthetic with all the character art. Yeah, that's a thing. Busy week, and glad to see y'all live, if only for a bit. Yeah, it's busy for us too. But glad you could make it. So yeah. That being said, it is now 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which means it is time for the after chat, the chat after the chat. If you have not already, go ahead and tap the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss when we go live. If you'd like to join the after chat, click that little join button. $5 gets you in, $10 gets you into the DNF book club. All of it goes to supporting the channel and the Melanin library. We have some really fun things to be talking about in this chat, so I'm really excited about it. It is in the Discord, so when you join, once you click that join button, go ahead and connect your YouTube channel to your Discord so that you can get into the after chat. Okay? Glad we decided to clear that up. That being said, this has been fun. Hopefully you guys liked the Q&A style questioning thing that we did this time. Yes, no, maybe, possibly. Let us know. As a reminder, go ahead and pre-order The Curse of Hester Gardens. It comes out next month, March 31st. Also, go ahead and buy our books. They are all on screen. There's no reason not to get them. They're amazing. And I think that is it, you guys. Thanks for being here. We will be back same time next month on Tuesday, the 3rd, to talk more books and being Black authors and all that good stuff. So we will catch you guys in the after chat, and until next time, I hope your days are lovely and your books are interesting. Bye.